Next, we're going to add the crab. We'll animate it so it fills the screen at the beginning of the movie and then quickly shrinks and moves into position above the area where the text will appear. So drag the crab file from the project panel to the top layer in the timeline panel. So we're going to click and drag it, put it right here on the top. Press the home key to get to the beginning of the timeline. Select the crab layer. Press S to display its scales property. Change the scale to 400%. Click the stopwatch icon to set an initial keyframe. Move to 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Ooh, that's 20 seconds. Oops. Almost messed up. 2 seconds. Change the scale to 75%. The crab scales appropriately, but its position isn't quite right. Press the home key to return to the beginning of the time ruler. Press P to display its position property and change the position to 360 and 82. Crab moves up to fill the composition. Click the stopwatch icon next to position. Sets an initial keyframe for the position. Go to 115, 115. Change the position to 360 and 228. Go to 2 seconds. Change the position to 360 and 182. Drag the current time indicator across the first 2 seconds to see the animation. So just to show you what this is going to look like, your screen is filled. When you bring it in, that's its final resting spot. So let's hide these crab properties. We're now going to talk about puppet tools. Puppet tools are found right here. When you click and hold the mouse, you see these different puppet tools. So the puppet tools, what they do is turn raster and vector images into virtual marionettes. When you move a string on a marionette, the body part attached to that string moves. You pull the string attached to the hand and the hand goes up. The puppet tools use pins to indicate where strings would be attached. So there are 5 kinds of pins, each placed by a different tool. The puppet position pin places and moves position pins, which change the position of specific points in an image. The puppet starch pin tool places starch pins, which stiffen parts of the image so that they are distorted less. If you were to ever use starch to iron a shirt, which I'm sure none of you have ever done, it makes the shirt stiffer. Puppet bend pin tool places bend pins, which lets you change the rotation or scale of part of an image without changing its position. The puppet advanced pin tool places advanced pins, which give you complete control over rotation, scale, and position. And finally, the puppet overlap pin tool places overlap pins, which indicate the parts of an image that should be in front where areas overlap. As soon as you place a pin, the area within an outline is automatically divided into a mesh of triangles. Each part of the mesh is associated with the pixels of the image, so as the mesh moves, so do the pixels. When you animate a position pin, the mesh deforms more in the area closest to the pin while keeping the overall shape as rigid as possible. For example, if you animate a pin in a character's hand, the hand and the arm will be deformed, but most of the character will remain in place. So let's select some pins. So select the puppet position pin tool in the tools panel. Go to 127. Let's just before the crab scales down to its final size. In the composition panel, place a position pin in the middle of the crab's left pincher. So right there. A yellow dot representing the position pin appears in the composition panel. If at this point you were to use the selection tool to move the position pin, the entire crab would move with it. You need more pins to keep other parts of the mesh in place. Using that same puppet position pin, place another position pin in the middle of the right pincher. So, click right there. Select the selection tool and drag one of the position pins to see its effect. So you can see, woo, and then just do Control Z to undo what you did to get it back to where you were. Select the puppet position pin again. What did I do? Place additional position pins at the top of each antenna, at the end of each side leg, and at the tip of each of the crab's swimming legs. So, click, click. In the timeline panel, expand the mesh one and deform. Each position pin is listed. I think this is a great time to save what we've done.